All right, well, thank you so much for that introduction. And, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say welcome to the Power Hour. I tell you, where your life has purpose and your words have power to change your future. I just want you to know that I am so excited to be in your presence as you are listening in from all around the world this morning. It is truly a pleasure and an honor, as God has blessed me so much to have such powerful connections, such women of power that came into my life not too long ago, like Dr. Marie Dove and Pastor Lanita Jackson and Pastor Ilona Sanders, in which he has truly blessed me in order to be able to share on this platform on WOKB. So I just want to say thank you, my beautiful sisters in Christ, and it's truly an honor and a pleasure. As I was thinking about the show this morning and really wanting to know what God, would lay on my heart to talk about this morning, I just really wanted to reflect on the things that God has been doing in my life over just the last few months. It's amazing how God will allow you to go through things in life in preparation for your future. And so what we have to know and what we have to understand is that there's a reason for every season that takes place in our life. We have to know and understand that the challenges and the things that we go through in life is only to build us up and to uplift us and to prepare us for the next level in life. And I want all of our listeners this morning to know and understand that it is never too late to live the dreams that you always had on the inside of you. It is never too late to become the person that you might have been. And it's all because we need to realize, number one, that God has placed some things on the inside of us. And when we know it and we believe it and we walk in the things that God has planned for us, there are so many doors that He would open for us in order for us to live the life that we've always dreamed of. I think too many times in life we allow our current situations and the challenges and the things that we go through on a daily basis to take us off the focus that God has intended for us to have, that end up blinding us from the future that He has truly given us the opportunity to live. But we have to realize and we have to know that we are designed on purpose for a purpose, ladies and gentlemen. You see, when God places that dream on the inside of us, every day that we get up, every day that we have breath, every moment that we live is truly another opportunity for us to say yes and to move closer and to move forward to actually living the dream that He has placed on the inside of us. So I want to ask each and every one of you today, are you walking in your purpose? Are you really knowing that what God has for you is for you? Because it is truly time for us as His children to realize that everything that we need exists on the inside of us, and everything that we desire, the things that we want to happen in our life, can truly become ours if we would just take the time to say, yes, Lord, and I had the honor and the pleasure and to actually be in the presence of none other than Bishop Jakes on this past Sunday. And I tell you, his message was, my feet, His fire. And when we realize that God has given us the feet to walk, and we walk with His fire, knowing that nothing is impossible and that there are so many things that He has designed for us to become and for us to do and to live on purpose, and when we give Him all the glory, there is nothing that can stop us from becoming the person that He intended for us to become. So you have to realize in life that it is never too late. Every day that you get up is a new day. It's a new beginning. It's a new opportunity for you to live the life that God has created you to live. And so as I reflect on what God has been able to do in our lives over just really the last 9 months, literally, it's because of the fact that I made a decision to never give up on the things that I visualized, on the things that I dreamed of. You see, in life, you have to know that the very dreams that God has placed on the inside of you is not enough to just sit back and dream about them. Because what ends up happening is those dreams begin to die. But when you put them in front of you and you visualize them and you focus on them each and every day, you write them down, you create that vision board, you put things around the house, you begin to speak those affirmations, believing and knowing that you can accomplish them. See, that's all that Mccray did for a very long time. Once I realized who I was. See, I did a message yesterday. We have a morning show called the Wake Up and Win. And I asked everyone, who are you? Because you have to know who you are, first of all, before you can begin to walk into your future and to walk into the victory that God has for you. And for a long time in life, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know a lot of things, but I knew that God had more for me to do with my life than just being that great mother and being that great wife and daughter. And I knew that there was more for me to do in this world that would help to reach and touch and change the lives of so many people. And so whereas sometimes in life we don't understand the different things that we go through, but we have to know that God always has a purpose. And if you just stay focused and you realize that at the end of the day, you're going to come out as pure gold, those are the things that are going to keep you going, that are going to keep you striving, because you have this vision in front of you that's so strong to where you literally have these blinders on to where you can't really see or pay attention to anything that's going on in your life. And so that's kind of what I did 9 months ago. Ladies and gentlemen, where God allowed this amazing opportunity called total life changes to come into my life. For those of you that don't know me at all, I am someone who has always been a stay-at-home mom who always dreamed of being an entrepreneur. And so I got into real estate about 15 years ago because it was at that time that I realized that I did not want to miss our children growing up. And that was the same life that my husband Nate wanted me to have. He wanted me there first and foremost for our kids. So I got into real estate. But for over 20 years, we always believed in the industry of network marketing, trying opportunity after opportunity, never really having any success. But because we always believed and we never gave up, this amazing opportunity came into our life with some phenomenal products that are truly life-changing. And so I said yes one more time. But I want you to know that at the time of me saying yes, there were some things taking place in our life that had I allowed those things to overtake me, we would not be standing here today having this conversation. But instead, I stayed focused, because in the midst of Nate and I stepping out on faith, and we have relocated our family down to Miami, Florida. You know, there's something called the law of place. And sometimes in life, you have to change where you are in order to get where God has for you to go. And so we knew it was time for us to leave Atlanta, Georgia. And so we stepped out on faith. It was called the Mccray Family Adventure, literally. When we left Atlanta, Georgia, we had a plan, but we did not have it all planned out, literally to the point to where we went, we stopped by Nate's family's, his parents' house for a week, and they were like, well, where are you going? We said, Miami, Florida. And on Friday morning, after spending that week with them, I got on the internet. I found a place for us to go for a week down in a condo, and then after that, we started venturing out looking for a place to live. But I want you to know that in the midst of us finding that place, let me tell you, God had so many different challenges and trials that we were going to go through that we had no idea were going to take place in our life. And so by November, this was August of last year when we stepped out, but by November, down here in Miami, Florida, it's very easy to move into a rental property, these vacation homes. They're nice with the pools in the backyard and the lake views. And so we had found us one of those. But what we did not know was that around October, when everyone from up north comes down here, now mind you, the cost of living was already 3 times as high as Atlanta, Georgia. And meanwhile, my husband Nate had this corporate America job that literally treated him like a yo-yo. When they needed him, he was a project manager as an engineer. He was good to go. But when they did not need him, let me tell you, he had no work to do. So we looked up, and the rent on that property was raised by over $2,500 more per month. Ladies and gentlemen, what did we do at that time? Did we lose sight? No, because it was at that time that total life changes came into my life. And honestly, I was building a global organization. Our team would have never known some of the things that we were going through. The fact that I would be on calls, doing calls for our team. Literally, we found ourselves by January with no place to live. But I'm building a global business. I'm staying focused. Why? Because God gave me a vision a long time ago. He let me know that one day the industry of network marketing would set our family financially free. And so as a result of it, I kept going. I stayed focused, ladies and gentlemen. And as a result of the fact that I did not allow the challenges that came my way to take me off focus, because I knew that God had placed a dream on the inside of me that one day would give birth to that dream, I stayed on point. I stayed on task. And as a result of it, fast forward, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it was difficult for our family, for our kids to go through that. But we could not focus on the situation, on the challenge. Instead, we had to focus on where we were going, on the goal, on the vision, on the opportunity to help change the lives of others. And by doing that, our lives have changed so much to the tune of us earning well over multiple 6 figures in just less than 9 months' time, ladies and gentlemen. And it's because I knew that God had placed a dream on the inside of me. And as a result of it, I never gave up on that dream. And so my husband and I, each and every day, as we are now building this business together and taking this thing to a whole new level, able to travel the entire world, do what we want to do, live how we want to live, freedom, all because of the fact that I never gave up on what God told me that I was supposed to do in life. And so I want to say to all of you today that it is never too late to live the life that you always desired to live. But you got to step out on faith, and you got to know that it's your time, it's your turn in order to accomplish some great things in life that God has called you to do. So I am very excited this morning because I actually have someone who is joining me on this morning's call, someone who is very special to me because she has been in my life for, let's see, I've been married 26 years, so I believe her and my brother have just celebrated their 28th wedding anniversary. And I tell you, I don't know if I've ever told my sister-in-law how much of an inspiration that she truly is, because I remember, I remember the very day when she stepped out on faith. And it's because she was working that corporate America job, and she knew that she had so much more on the inside of her. And I'm so proud of her, because this woman was 43 years old. You know, sometimes we feel like, okay, if we don't do it in our 20s, okay, if it's not done by our 30s, then it's too late. and we end up giving up on the very thing that God has placed on the inside of her. But she knew that she had this dream to become more than just that mother and that wife that God had called her to be. And so she ended up stepping on faith, and she told that job, because honestly, they did the same thing to her. After giving of herself for so long, she looked up and they had laid her off. So it didn't matter how many hours that she had committed to getting the work done. It didn't matter how much time, how many late nights that she took away from her family. When they no longer needed her, they were done with her. And so she stepped out on faith, and I know that it has not been easy. And so as I introduce her today, I just want to let you know that she is from the Las Vegas, Nevada area, and she is truly on a mission to help women transition from a place of uncertainty, doubt, and fear to following their dreams and turning them into reality. You see, whether you are making a transition from corporate America to entrepreneurship, or from a place of complacency to following your exact passions, she's a woman that can help you and guide you to uncovering your most vibrant, confident, and authentic self. Because my sister-in-law, Miss Dawn Angela Mickens, she's a wife, she's a mother, she is a woman of faith, she's a model, she's an actress, a motivational speaker, and also an author, a woman on the ladder of success. And I'm so proud of her because of the fact that she made a decision that she was going to become all that God has created her to be. She says the worst thing that a person can do is underestimate their dream. Her response to that is, keep it moving, which is Kim, my best friend. So I just want to check and see, do we have my beautiful sister-in-law on the line with us this morning on this radio show? Mrs. Dawn Angela Mickens, are you out there, my beautiful sister? Well, thank you so much, Dawn. I tell you, you truly have been an inspiration in my life. I don't know if I've ever really taken the time to just share with you, because you were that person who, at the age of 43, you said, you know what, I'm not too old to do this. And you actually stepped out to do something that most people would not do. And so I'm excited for what God has been able to do in your life. She's actually known, ladies and gentlemen, as the timeless rebel. And so before we actually get started, let's make sure that people know what we say when we say timeless rebel. So can you go ahead and let everybody know what that means, first of all?